Hello, everybody. I want to give you a warm welcome to our virtual open house. And in this session, we'll be talking about life on campus. My name is Jenny Towner, and I'm serving as the Interim Vice President for Student Affairs and Institutional Effectiveness. And during this time today, you're going to hear about all of the wonderful supports and services and ways that Harford is just here to support you during your time at the college. In our session, we'll be hearing from our Director for Student Life, our Director for Student Achievement, Director for Enrollment Management Operations, our Manager for the Learning Center, our Co-Director for our library, Director for Disability and Intervention Services, and our Athletic Director. And there are just so many ways that students can get involved in our campus and so many different supports that we have with the goal of student success. So we are gearing up for our commencement coming up very soon, which is when we get to celebrate the accomplishments of all of our students. And that's really what we always look forward to. So whenever a student starts, we're always looking at, how can we help our students be successful so that we can all be celebrating together at commencement. So at this point, what I'd like to do is turn it over to our Director for Student Life, Dr. Griselda Flores, who is going to be talking to you about all of the wonderful engagement opportunities that we have in our Student Life office.
Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. Flores, and I'm going to talk a bit about the Office of Student Life. So there are various opportunities that we offer here at HCC for students to learn about themselves and others through various extracurricular activities. Outside of the classroom, students are encouraged to join registered student organizations or clubs that may spark their interest, or they can start their own. There's also many leadership and development leadership and employable skills that they can gain. They can make a difference in their community through volunteer work or participate in a week-long alternative break out of state or even internationally. We also help students cultivate personal wellness. We offer food pantry, a lot of community resources where students can get plugged in. There's also ways for them to gain experiences and learn about different cultural and ethnic activities. Many of the students involved through the Office of Student Life are able to attend national and regional conferences and get to hear many national speakers. It's also a great way to make new friends and just network with faculty and staff.
Oh, thank you, Dr. Flores, for that overview. Before I introduce our next guest, I do want to just acknowledge that we are recording this presentation, so that way you'll be able to refer back to any of the information that we share. And also towards the end of our overview of these services, you'll be able to participate in a question answer session. So if you have questions as we're speaking, feel free to put them into the question answer, and we will be sure to acknowledge all of that as we get to the end of our hour and our time together. So at this point, what I'd like to do is turn it over to Dr. Tolu Aduwu, who's going to be talking about our My College Success Network.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for being here. My name is Dr. Tolu Aduwu, and I'm the Director for Student Achievement. I'll tell you a little bit about My College Success Network. This is a program which empowers students to succeed in their academic pursuit from registration to degree or credential completion. The network, which is actually open to all, particularly engages students of color in those dynamics of academic and college social environment to encourage students or enable them succeed in their academic interest. Network students, apart from the other attendance support they receive, are assigned an academic coach and also an advisor. Students therefore enjoy somewhat of a personalized or individualized attention, which supports their academic pathway. The coaches also teach specific developmental courses, which have college-bearing credits. When students take these particular classes through the network, they're granted a scholarship, which stands to the student's advantage, as otherwise they would have to pay for the class or the classes. The two particular classes I'm referring to are the Student Development 110, which concentrates on success in college and beyond. That's the title of the class. And it schools students on time management, study skills, and stress management. The other class would be Student Development 111, which is basically career exploration. The network, as it's favorably called, serves as a link for its enrolled students between the program and other units and resources on campus. We work proactively with financial aid, the bookstore, the athletics department, to mention a couple of examples, or otherwise where the students may need a voice or an advocate. Some faculty members are also a part of the network, and their participation further augments the level of attention and support that students are given. We work closely with the Student Life Department, and in collaboration, among other aspects, work on the SWOT to Success program, which has a kickoff event at the beginning of the fall semester. The Learning Center is a part of the network, and Ms. Pamela Rongi will be on in just a little bit to tell you more about the operations in the Learning Center. To broaden their leadership and group participatory skills, some network students serve as peer assistants and mentors and support both the network and other students. Currently, we're in the process of developing more support groups like My Brother's Keeper, as well as some other engaging activities which would promote student engagement and augment the already inclusive environment that students enjoy on the campus. Again, my name is Toluido, and it would be a pleasure to meet our new students and begin to work with them as they realize their academic dreams. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Tolu. We're going to go back to Jenny right now.
Thank you, Dr. Aduwo. The My College Success Network is certainly a program that we are very proud of and definitely connects across the college, as you mentioned, with faculty and other services. And it's just a wonderful way to welcome our students to Harford. So look forward to hearing more information about the My College Success Network as you join on to the college. Now I'm going to turn it over to Ms. Ruby Burchett, who is the Director for Enrollment Management Operations. So Ruby. Oh, we now have Nicole Wilson, but there we have Ruby Burchett, who's going to be talking to us about enrollment management operations and our test center.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Ruby Burchett from Harford Community College Test Center. So our test center supports student success and achievement by creating a stress-free, positive, and secure testing environment for our students, our faculty, and also our community members. We offer various testing services from placement testing such as Accuplacer, makeup testing, academic testing, assessment to prior learning, testing for like nursing students, including PEAS tests, and other certification tests. So currently, we are working in an online-only environment, and we are offering Accuplacer remotely using Microsoft Teams. So with if you're interested or if you have a need to take Accuplacer or to get access or avail some of our testing services, I would like to refer you to our website for more information, and that is www.harford.edu/test center, and click on the link that says testing availability. And let me share my screen with you. so you can see our website. I think I can, I think I'm sharing it. And just in case if you don't see it, again, the website is www.harford.edu/test center and click on testing availability. Thank you for your time, and please reach out to us if you have any questions. We are also available through email, and that is testsent@harford.edu. Thank you.
And
Great.
Ruby, if you don't
Thanks,
mind,
Ruby. Go ahead, Jenny.
okay, thank you. Ruby, if you don't mind, maybe we can do a little bit of a question answer session right here, because testing is probably one of the areas that students and families have the most questions about. So does that work for you? Do you have a few extra minutes?
Sure.
Okay, very good. So many of our students will interact with the test center, as you mentioned, as they take the Accuplacer test. And the Accuplacer test is one part of our enrollment process where once you apply to the college, then you may take this test to kind of determine where you place into our college courses. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And so what are the types of tests that you might have to take within the Accuplacer test?
Yeah, so Accuplacer test is composed of 3 sections. It's reading, writing, and math. Usually, testing can be completed in an hour and a half to 2 hours, but students can really take it using unlimited time. Currently, as I mentioned, we are offering Accuplacer using Microsoft Teams, and students just need a laptop or a computer to test. And those equipment should have a video and audio capability, including a downloaded application, Microsoft Teams desktop version. We ask the students to really review our student quick guide and set an appointment for testing for us to help them with the test. On our website also, there are links there to help them prepare for the test. We recommend students to use the Accuplacer study app that can be downloaded from accuplacer.org. We also encourage students to visit Khan Academy, and that is really a good resource to prepare for the math section of the test.
Awesome. Now, we know that we have a lot of students who were very high performers in high school. So what if I'm the student and my GPA is a 3.7 and I'm getting ready to graduate high school and I'm coming to college? Will I have to take the Accuplacer test?
And the good news is they don't have to take the Accuplacer test if they have a high school GPA of 3.0. They just have to submit a high school transcript to our admissions office. And the 3.0 GPA that we accept is cumulative. It's unweighted on a 4.0 scale. And we also accept the 3.0 GPA unweighted from the end of their junior years in case they're still attending high school. Aside from the 3.0 GPA, they can also be exempted from taking Accuplacer if they have some qualifying scores in other assessments such as SAT, ACT, even PARC, AP, and IB scores, including the GED scores as well. So again, the good resource for specific qualifying scores for these assessments that will exempt them from Accuplacer can be found on our website.
Wow, that's great. And then we also know that we have a lot of adult students who may be coming to Harford and they have a lot of prior knowledge, or maybe they speak another language. So are there any tests that students can take where they can actually earn college credit by testing out?
Yes, we offer assessment to prior learning such as CLAP, DSST, and division exams. Unfortunately, currently, we're still working with College Board on how to offer CLAP remotely. Also, we are working with our division heads and academic deans on offering division exams online also. So if there are questions about how they can benefit or how students can benefit from assessment to prior learning, we recommend students to touch base with their advisors and then also reach out to our test center so we can guide them on how to do that remotely.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ruby, for taking all of this time. And it really has been an adjustment to the online remote environment. The virtual open house is an example. Here we are talking to you from our houses, and we're used to being on our beautiful campus having this format to welcome you. So thank you to Ruby for talking us through some of these these steps as we're in the remote environment. And also thank you to everybody for tuning in with us from home. So at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Pamela Runge, who is the manager for our Learning Center, and she can talk to you about a lot of the supports that we have available to students that can help you right from the very start through completion. So thank you, Pam. I think you might be muted, Pam. Yep.
Sorry, I clicked it, maybe didn't click it enough. Thank you. Okay. Here I am, Pam Runge, manager for Learning Center. Welcome, everyone. The Learning Center provides support for students with course content and also with learning strategies and study skills such as time management, study plans, organization, those components that can help students be successful in their courses. We have approximately 40 learning assistants on staff that provide our services. We have walk-in sessions, individual sessions, which require a meeting with our student success specialist, and students who connect with the student success specialist will complete a success plan, and the individual sessions may become part of that success plan. There are some eligibility requirements for the individual sessions. Some of those are below a 2.0 GPA, struggling in a course with below a C grade, maybe have not have previous attempt on the course unsuccessfully, so you're retaking the course, you're automatically eligible for individual sessions. But your meeting with the student success specialist will determine the supports that will best meet your needs. We also have online tutoring through a company called NetTutor. This is a free service to our students. Most instructors have the NetTutor in the Blackboard course, but if not, we can set up your NetTutor account, and that account is active for you throughout the semester 24/7. You can be online chat, or offline you can submit a question or submit a paper for review. Currently in our online only format, we are offering virtual learning sessions. So we have virtual walk-in sessions that you can connect with a learning assistant through Teams. The individual sessions are virtual, and then of course the online tutoring is already online. You also can meet with the student success specialist to complete the success plan and give you the tools that you need to take the next steps for your plan for the semester. So we are here.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, Pam. Quick question for you. It
Yes.
looks like you might be sharing your screen. Are you going to be showing slides, or do you want to disable that? There we go. Now we can see more of your beautiful face.
Yes, thank you. So again, the contact for us, you can go to our website. It is harford.edu/learning center, and you can click on request forms there to request the sessions. You can also reach out to us by email at learningcenter@harford.edu. We're here for you.
All right, Pam, so now I'm not going to let you get away so fast. Maybe we can do a little bit more back and forth about the Learning Center.
Sure.
So one of the questions that a lot of students have when they're, on campus is they're looking for employment at the college.
Mm-hmm.
So does the Learning Center offer any employment opportunities to students?
Yes, and it's a wonderful opportunity for our students. Students do need to have 6 credits of college level credits before you can apply to be a learning assistant. And you also need to have at least a 3.0 GPA in the courses that you're going to provide assistance for. This is a wonderful opportunity for students. It's an excellent job, and you're right there on campus. It fits nicely within your schedule, and there's lots of flexibility. We can work around your schedule. And the practice that you're helping others with the courses that you're already taking just really hones your skills for that course and reinforces your learning. It's a wonderful opportunity, and we encourage students to apply. Our focus is on hiring students to be our learning assistants.
And is it a true statement that we have had students go from being a student all the way to now being employed as full-time employees or professors on our campus?
We sure do. We have many examples of that. One that comes to mind is our data and analytics associate. I don't know if I say her name or not, but I actually did a success plan with her.
Wow.
Several years ago, and she went on and graduated, and now she works at HCC, and I'm working with her to collect our usage data. She provides a lot of support for me to keep our usage data. So that's one example. We have faculty members who are now instructors who started out as learning assistants. It's an excellent opportunity.
Yeah, very good. So what are some of the ways that you interact with faculty members around the campus to really make sure that there's a lot of support for students, like in their classroom content that happens within the Learning Center, so that you're kind of aware of how we can best support students?
Yes. We have a close collaboration and partnerships going on with faculty. We provide in-class success lessons for a lot of our transitional English courses and other courses. We also are embedded in our math courses. We have a learning assistant actually in the classroom to provide that support, and then can provide some supplemental instructional help outside of the classroom. We also are in the class for recitations with some of our physics or engineering courses. So we are very connected with faculty. We're in communication with faculty about their course requirements and the best ways that we can provide our support for the students to be successful.
Awesome. And it's really been remarkable to see how the Learning Center has been able to seamlessly support students throughout this transition into the online environment. So you were the founder, you were the person responsible for getting our original online tutoring going, which we're utilizing. And then you also mentioned that our staff are meeting, virtually with students as well.
Yes, so it's working very smoothly. It's working very well. So we will continue even when we're back live on campus.
Yeah, it's been working so well. So that's great. Thanks a lot, Pam, and stick around for our question and answers that we have later.
Sure. Thank you, everyone.
All right. So now I'd like to invite Ms. Lois Ettner. She's our interim library co-director, and there are just so many wonderful resources in our library that Lois can share with us, and we're just so happy to have her here with us. All right.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Lois Ettner. I am the interim co-director of the library. We are in a new world, and so, when everybody thinks of the library, they think of somewhere that they go, but really the library is fully actionable and ready to go online. We are providing online chat for our students right now, and we will be doing that all summer long. Our hours will be found on our website, but we're planning on doing 50 hours a week during the summer. So there's lots of times that you can always reach someone. You can email us, you can chat with us, well, you can't call us right now, but when we're back, we will be able to talk to you that way. We do provide in the physical area when we're not online. We do have 13 study rooms. We have lots of great space to study. The library staff is always around to help. That is our main mission. So if you have questions that you need help with, if we don't know the answer, we will find the person that you need to talk to. One of the other things is, as we are online, you will not necessarily always see the librarians, but they're there. We provide instruction for our English 101 classes and many other classes. We're embedded in a lot of the online classes, so that always check and see on Blackboard. There will be a library link. A lot of you will have embedded librarians, which means you have a personal librarian that for that class you can ask questions for, and they're always happy to answer questions about other classes as well. Our main mission is to help you find what you need. So right now in the online environment, that means ebooks and articles and helping you get through the websites that you need. We have over 70 databases that are available for you to look at. We also have streaming video platforms. So, whatever you need, we can find it for you. And if we don't have it, we will find it somewhere. In person, when we get back to campus, which we're all very much looking forward to, we also have a digital media lab that's available for students to use, and a one-button studio so that you can video. It makes it very easy for you. And we have laptops that you can borrow. We have calculators you can borrow. So also anatomical models. So many different things and so many different resources. But the main point that the library would like you all to know is that whether we're online or whether we're in person, we are here to help you find what you need. Please ask us. You can find us, the easiest way is to go to the homepage of the school, and I can share that for you. And up at the top, is it sharing it? Or my users all just, you're all probably seeing me. Let's see if I can do this here.
We see your beautiful background to your computer screen.
Oh, so you see my children.
Yeah, we see your children.
Many years ago. Actually, the little girl in the backpack right there is a sophomore in college right now.
Wow.
She's taking final as we speak. So here we go. This is where I wanted to show you. If you go to the website, the webpage, there is a link up here to the library, and then you will get this page. And if you need help in any way, there's always a chat live reference right here. And you can just click on that and start asking questions. And for the most part, we're usually there. So that is my main thing back here. And we look forward, just ask us anything you can. And if you have any questions, even now, feel free to chat with us and we'll answer them as best we can. So I look forward to seeing you all. Thank you.
All right, Lois. So maybe we could just talk a little bit and you can stop sharing your screen. That way we can focus on the two of us.
I have lost my,
Oh, well, that's okay. I have a couple of follow-up questions for you.
Okay, I'm here.
So one, you mentioned anatomical models. So can you explain, why would I want to check out an anatomical model?
Okay, so we have, and then my favorite thing to tell people about is the fact that we have for example, a drawer of brains in the library. They're plastic brains. But that is for the bio, I believe it's 103, 102, 103, are the classes where they study anatomy and physiology. And so we have the models that you would pull apart so you can see all the different things, see what things look like. We have torsos and muscles and veins, whatever you need to look at to study that, so you have a hands-on way to study it.
Wow. Well, thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Another question I have is, we just heard from Pam Runge, the manager for the Learning Center. As you know, the Learning Center hasn't always been in the library. So what are some of the benefits that we've realized when the Learning Center moved into the library?
One of the best thing about it, in my mind, is the partnership that we have always tried to have with the Learning Center, but now we really can work together well. So if you are starting to write a paper in the learning center and you've kind of got your topic, but now you need sources. We're in the same building. We can come down and help, or you can come straight up and we're a floor away. It makes it very seamless, and we can help, and then we can, connect back and forth. We've gotten a much better relationship with a lot of the learning assistants, and so it has made it really much nicer for the students and for all of us to be able to help them more. We also have a collection of textbooks and the anatomical models and some of the other equipment that we need that before could not leave the library. But since the Learning Center is in the library, one of the great things is if you need to go have help on your anatomy and physiology homework and you need the vascular arm to do it, you can take it down there and you can do it that way. And so it's just been great to be able to work together and be able to help our students in a more seamless fashion and make it easier for them.
Awesome. Well, thank you. It is so nice to have such a beautiful library on our campus and to have so much help that's available. And, this is another example of where the online services and support has been available, and that's particularly come in handy during these times. So we're so thankful for that.
We're happy to do it.
All right. Well, now we're going to be turning it over to Ms. Nicole Wilson, who is the Director for Disability and Student Intervention Services. She has a lot of resources and information to share with us. And here she is. Thank you, Nicole.
All right. Well, thank you, Jenny. And thank you all for joining us this evening at our virtual open house. So as Jenny said, my name is Nicole Wilson, and I'm the Director for Disability and Student Intervention Services. So in terms of disability services, my office is the one that coordinates accommodations for students with disabilities. So you may be thinking, is my student one with a disability? Well, you would know that if one, they've been diagnosed with disability, but also in the K through 12 setting, if they've received any type of special education services within K through 12, your student may be a student there with a disability. And so it requires that a student connect themselves with our office. And it's a little bit different in the post-secondary setting. So in a post-secondary setting, the student has to identify themselves to our office. And we try to make that as available as we can to our students. And so students can identify and connect with our office pretty easily by going to our website, which is just accessing the harford.edu website. And then on the left navigation pane, you'll see there for student services. And you can click on Disability and Student Intervention Services. And it'll take you to our landing page, which will walk you through the steps to get connected with our office. And it is pretty easy. You just click on our Harford Accommodate link, which will take you to our intake form. All of our services, or many of our services we know now, are provided in a remote setting, so we're all working from home, but we have access to our database online. And so once you click on that intake form, you'll answer just some basic questions that we'll ask, basic demographic information, as well as to tell us the nature of your disability, what accommodations you received in the past, and what you're requesting from Harford. Once you click submit, that form will then be submitted into my office. We'll be able to access that form electronically online. We then will reach out to you. We typically reach out to you via telephone or by email in order to schedule what we call an orientation. And so that orientation at DSS is about an hour to an hour and a half meeting with one of our student development specialists. And we use that time to really talk with the student. We want it to be a very interactive conversation that we have with that student so that the student can let us know what types of barriers to access they have experienced in the past in terms of education. And so once they're able to tell us about the nature of those barriers, also tell us about some of the functional limitations that they may be experiencing, we can talk more about what accommodations have been helpful for that student if they've received accommodations in the past. And we'll often try to pull out more information. So while we're talking with that student, we'll often say, well, tell me more about that. Tell me more about that barrier to access that you experienced. Tell me more about that accommodation that you received maybe in high school. Did that accommodation work for you? Was it very helpful? What do you think may have worked better? What accommodations maybe were you offered in the past that you found not to be so helpful? We also like to use that hour and a half time to really talk about what are some of your strengths when it comes to being in school. What are some of your weaker areas? Tell me, what subjects do you prefer? What are your goals here at Harford? What is it that you want to do in this world? What do you want your major to be? What do you want your career to be? So we like for it to be a very interactive conversation so that we can tailor the accommodations to you. Because what I often say is that one person's flu is different from another person's flu. So my flu is not going to be like your flu. How I respond to a particular intervention is not going to be how you may respond. Maybe how you responded to an intervention when you were young, maybe it has changed a bit. And so we want to know how you experience education and how you experience some of those barriers in education so that we can make an accommodation plan that's going to work best for you. So after we have that DSS orientation, we then meet together as a team to kind of discuss what we went over in that orientation, what you are requesting, and what we feel would be accommodations that would be helpful for you here at Harford. We're able then to connect with you again online to let you know that here are the accommodations that you have been approved for. The student is then able to make what we call a semester request. So they can request what accommodations they would like for which courses. Students can say, I want all of my accommodations for all my courses, or they can pick and choose. They may say, I need extended time for my English course, but maybe I don't need it for my math course. So students have that option to pick and choose what accommodations are going to work best for them and what course. And so sometimes the question comes up, that students may not want to, when do I have to get connected with our office? And I always say it's better to get connected sooner rather than later. Let's take care of all this kind of transactional information exchange portion early so that when you may need it for your course, it's already in place. So that we can do more work in terms of transformational work. We can get you to that end goal that you want to achieve there at Harvard. So I would say, even though you may think, well, maybe I don't need my accommodations right now, and that's okay if that's the choice you're going to make, but I would still recommend that you get connected with our office right now so that when you decide I do need my accommodations, they're just a click away. So in terms of the students with disabilities that we typically see students that have ADD or ADHD, students with learning disabilities, or students with psychological disabilities. But understand, we see the whole spectrum of those students with disabilities. So as long as you can identify as a student with disability, get connected to our office, as well as provide us with some type of documentation, we are able to provide services for you. And so when I say students with learning disabilities, that could be in the area of reading, it could be in mathematics, it could also be in terms of written language. When I say students with psychological disabilities, most often we see those students with anxiety or some form of depression. But again, it can run the gamut. And as long as you're a student with a disability, we are here to provide access for you. So in order to get that documentation, so we accept an array of documentation, but I will say that on our webpage, we have what we call our certification forms. So you can take our forms right to your physician, have your physician complete the form, and you can submit that into us. That too can be submitted online when you do that intake. So you can upload your documentation right when you're doing that intake form. So in addition to our certification forms, you can also provide us what we call typically a psychological report and an educational report. And so sometimes the question often arises, well, my student did receive special education in K through 12 setting, and they had an IEP or a 504 plan. Will you take that as documentation? So we accept it as supplemental information, but just know that we are going to need the psychological report and the educational report that put that IEP in place in the K through 12 setting. And so we always want our students as well as parents to understand that there is a difference between what you received in high school in the K through 12 setting as far as what you will receive in a college setting. So that IEP and 504 plan were really good documents and really responsive to the laws that a K through 12 must be responsive to, which is the Individuals with Disability in Education Act. However, in a college setting, we are responsive to the ADA as well as Section 504. So that IEP and that 504 plan that you have for K through 12 are no longer in effect once the student transitions to college. So again, we'll use it just to give us supplemental information so that we can get to know the student a little bit better, but we will not accept it as your sole form of documentation. And so once a student connects with our office, like I said, we are able to send the accommodation memos directly to the student as well as to each of their faculty persons. And so that accommodation memo will not indicate the nature of the student's disability. It will only indicate the accommodations that the instructor needs to put in place there in the classroom. And it will also let the student and the instructor know that if you have any questions, please feel free to reach back out to Disability Services so that we can continue that interactive conversation. Disability Services is going to be kind of the subject matter expert when it comes to disability and accommodations, but we realize that faculty are the experts in terms of their content and their instructional teaching strategies. And so we like for it to be that interactive conversation between our office, the student, as well as the faculty member. So we encourage students to get connected with us as soon as possible.
Well, Nicole, thank you for all of that information. And also on our webpage, there's more information about how students can access the services that you mentioned. And, you know, we are just eager to help students that have questions. And I also want to just highlight that Nicole also oversees our intervention procedures. We have an understanding that sometimes it could be stressful when you're a college student and you're taking classes and might not be sure of what next steps are, what the future holds. And so we do have a supportive team in place to respond to students that might be in distress. And, you know, we really do have a culture of care at the college. So thank you so much for leading that, Nicole.
Sure. Would you like me to talk more about that now or wait a little later?
We probably have a little bit of time for that, and then we can move on to our Director for Athletics.
Sure. So as you were saying, we understand that going to college can be stressful, and we realize that students at a community college are often balancing many different things. So they're often working, they're going to school, they're taking care of family, and it can be hard to take care of all those things without feeling stressed, without feeling anxious or worried. And so we have what we call our SIP team, our Student Intervention and Prevention team, which are employees at the college who are able to work with students to direct them to resources that may be able to assist them. And so we like to say that we want to know when students are exhibiting some type of concerning behavior so that we can intervene as soon as possible to get them connected with either our campus resources or resources that may be there in the community. So in terms of our campus resources, we do provide the service of an on-site counselor. That on-site counselor is with us 2 days a week on Tuesdays and Wednesdays from 11 to 3. Typically when we're in that face-to-face type of setting, they are available. But in addition to having the on-site counselor, we have what we call our student assistance program. And that is a program that has a 1-800 number that students can call 24 hours, 7 days a week. So we understand that concerns or distress can pop up outside of Tuesdays and Wednesdays, outside of that typical business hours. We realize that sometimes we feel stressed when it's 2 a.m. in the morning and we need someone to talk to. And recognizing that, that's why we then contracted with a student assistance program so that students would have that 1-800 number to call at any time that they're feeling any type of concern or distress or just want to make plans for the future. And so students can receive sessions with our student assistance program, which they have found to be very helpful in terms of being able to reach out to someone and having someone to talk to. So whenever that we have a concern about a student, we encourage our entire community, be it employees and even students themselves. They can certainly submit that referral form for themselves, and they can submit that referral form for their friends, their peers there at the college to let us know that, listen, I'm concerned. I have a concern about a student, or I'm concerned about myself. And then we will have someone from our team reach out to that student, again, to connect them to resources that are available.
All right, well, thank you very much. And we will have opportunities for questions later. And it's nice to see that we've got our chat box going with some responses to questions that have come in earlier, so that's great. And now I'm going to turn it over to our athletic director, Mr. Esteban Vasquez, and you can talk to us about our Fighting Owls.
Hello, well, thank you, Jenny Towner. I appreciate it for that. And so, hello, Fighting Owl fans. My name is Coach Vasquez. I just want to let you know that Harford Community College offers athletics within our region here in the state of Maryland. And I have a presentation here. I'm going to show you my PowerPoint presentation on screen right now. And see if you can see it. All right, so one of the things I want to talk about primarily is that not only do we offer athletics, we also offered intramurals and recreational activities. And all is located at the Susquehanna Center and also our Harford Sports Complex. We offer a fitness center, indoor swimming pool, and also tennis courts within our campus. And of course, our recreational or intramurals activities that we offer is ping pong, dodgeball, basketball, ultimate frisbee, and flag football as well during certain seasons from fall and also in spring. We offer 13 sports here at Harford Community College. We have a listed for the men's athletes and also the women's athletes as well. And again, ladies and gentlemen, we are continue seeking players or student athletes to be participating within our athletic department. One of the things too that basically I'm very proud of, and as administrator, is again that we consider students first, athletes second. And I'm going to show you my presentation first for our proud honor roll student athletes here at our athletic program within the past 5 years. We have over 25 student athletes, and within over 250 athletes, we have an average that have made to the honor roll with a 3.0, 3.5 or above. And if you look at it here, it shows the graphs within the fall and also the spring season. So very happy with that and very proud with that. And of course, we also go with the student successes with our Fighting Owls. In the past 5 years, we've been champions on certain sports, and we have a listed here that's stated on top. And then also this past year in 2018 and 19, we had 7 conference titles, 5 regional titles, and 1 district title, and of course, 1 national title, which I will show at the end. Not only do our student athletes perform well in academics and also on the field and off the court, but also off the court and off the field. And what I'm talking about is within our community. We also help out with donate blankets at the Kauffman Cancer Center. Also, we head out to the Word of Life, Word of Faith within in Aberdeen, and also homeless here at Harford Community College that we also participate in as well. And of course, here's our women's lacrosse national champions. And again, and more to come for years to come. So we definitely like to consider ourselves Harford Athletics as a champion, but not just only champion on the field, but also off the field, including our athletics. So if you have an interest with either participating in athletics or also being gaining information between Parks and Rec, please contact Ed Leach, the Associate Athletic Director, and also I will take you to Harford Community College webpage, athletic webpage. And if you seek here through our website, which is still downloading, apologize for that. Please take notice that if you are interested, a lot of our scheduled games are listed on our website. And so one of the things too that I want you to understand is seek the tab pages, also look at the sports, and also you can look at the schedule and also the rosters as well. But if you are interested in participating on athletics, you definitely need to do is sign this prospect student athletic form, and it'll definitely direct you to the head coach to find out if there's any interest on this. Okay.
And Esteban, you just queued that up perfectly because we did receive a question. And the question is, I would like to try out for the men's soccer team. How do I get in touch with the soccer coach?
Yes, first and foremost, please submit that prospect student athletic form, and also our head coaches or assistant coaches from the soccer team will contact you back and provide you additional information. As of right now, we will be announcing that summer tryouts during the summer for the fall and also for the spring. So please look at our web page and the home page and look for some announcements that's basically screened throughout. Also look through our social media outlets, through our Facebook and also Twitter accounts as well. and we'll give you some updated information about tryouts. But definitely, we're still continuing looking for student athletes to be participating in sports. So please, anybody, feel free and please submit those forms and make that contact with our head coaches. And
Okay.
one other thing too, before I go, is also let you know all our facilities here at Harford Community College. From here, then sorry about that. I go to the Student Center. And let me just go to the facilities main page here. And to basically give you a visualization as of what our probably one of our top, with something I'm very proud of, is our facilities here at Harford Community College. With the APG Federal Credit Union Arena, through our Harford Sports Complex, baseball field, our synthetic baseball field, and also our synthetic lacrosse and soccer fields as well. Okay.
Wow, those
But
are
again, if there's any
beautiful
questions,
photos.
please let us know.
Yeah, thank you for sharing the beautiful photos. We have just so much at our college that is supporting students, and particularly our student athletes, with these wonderful resources that we have. So we're very excited for our future Fighting Owls to join us and to continue the wonderful legacy. So
That's
next,
correct.
yeah, so we do have some more questions. The next question actually is for you, Esteban. Do we have a swim team?
No, we don't have a swim team, but we do have an indoor swimming pool in which all students, actually, not just student athletes, all students are frankly eligible to attend on the swimming. We have during the fall and spring, please look at our webpage. We'll be announcing swimming pool hours for recreational use for our swimming pool.
Okay, very good. So we've kind of wrapped up our overview of life on campus, and now is the time where we can continue answering questions. I think our next question is for Ruby Burchett. And Ruby, the question is, how can I take the Accuplacer test before summer?
Hi there. Can you hear me?
Hello? Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so we offer Accuplacer using Microsoft Teams. And to take the test, a student needs a laptop, a computer, no Chromebook, and the laptop and computer needs to have a webcam and audio capability, as well as Microsoft Teams desktop version. So to test before summer or during the summer, we advise the student to go to our website, which is harford.edu/test center, and go to the link that says testing availability. On that page, there is a link on how to schedule or set an appointment for testing, and the student quick guide, which will list all the information that they need to prepare for the test, to prepare their technology and other things that they need to prepare for testing.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Ruby. And we know that the contact information for the test center is prominent on our webpage, so you're more than welcome to ask questions, and we will get right back to you with your specific needs.
Yes.
The next question, I appreciated seeing some question in our chat about what's Blackboard, because we've talked about Blackboard, and so I'd like to invite Lois Etner to talk about what Blackboard is, what it means to Harford Community College. I know that Lois often compares it to It's Learning, which is the platform that Harford County Public Schools uses to engage with students in the online environment. So one of our questions is, how is Blackboard similar and different from It's Learning? So I'd like to invite Lois back, if she's here, to provide a little bit more insight into that question. There you are.
I actually cannot answer that very well because I am not a student on It's Learning. I know that my students who are freshmen and junior in high school use it, and I know it's very similar, but I have not used it myself. I've used the Home Access Center. So that piece of it. That piece of it is on Blackboard as well. You know, it's a place where so basically this is a platform that called a learning management system. It's set up so that everybody that's in a class has access to it. It is basically a landing site where you can communicate with your professor. It's a place to have, usually the syllabus is there, a lot of assignments are there. It really depends on the instructor, how much they're using it. And the online environment, basically your whole class is going through Blackboard. So really it's a common thread piece of communication that we all use to for classes. I don't know
Great.
if that exactly answered the question, but yeah, I actually haven't used It's Learning. I've just seen it used. So
Yeah.
I was trying to give a comparison.
Yeah, I think that's really helpful, Lois. And I think what's a really great thing about Blackboard is that it's embedded in every single class, as you mentioned. So whether you're taking face-to-face classes when that's possible, or you're only taking online, all of those courses have a Blackboard component to them. And so that came in handy when we had to move into this online environment, because every single class already had that online component to it, whether you were face-to-face or online. And so that is something that, you know, when you're new to the college, we really take our time to make sure that you understand the ins and outs of Blackboard, because that's how you are going to communicate in a lot of your classes.
Yeah, and it really is a great area. I know a lot of the, even a lot of online classes, like for the librarians, we use it as a way to communicate with a particular class. If you're having a particular assignment, we can kind of give you some, here's some group places to go look for resources, you know, along with the professors. So it's not just that you're talking to your teacher or the people in your class, you have other resources through Blackboard as well. And so it's really a college-wide.
Yes, well, excellent. Thank you. So I do want to do a little bit of a time check here. It's about 5 o'clock, and at 5:15, our virtual tour will be starting. So we have about 15 more minutes, so keep those questions rolling in. The next question, I'm actually going to ask Nicole Wilson to join us again. The question is, are there accommodations for individuals with autism? So what might those accommodations look like?
That's a great question, because one, we do have a program, we call it Steps to Success, and it's for our students with disabilities to help with kind of bridging that transition between high school and college. And it's a program that we offer during the summer. And I believe it's like a week-long program that runs about 3.5 hours each day. And it targets specifically those students with autism, but any student with a disability is welcome to attend. And so if a student has a disability, they are eligible for accommodations. And so I like to say that we like to have that interactive conversation so that we know what have been the barriers to access for that student with autism, so that we can put in place appropriate accommodations that may help. And so that really requires that conversation to let us know, tell me about the student's history in a classroom setting. What has been difficult in terms of coursework? What has been difficult in terms of maybe classroom rules? And so we can put accommodations in place based on what that student is able to share with us.
Well, thank you very much. And I'm sorry if anybody heard my dog barking before. Those are just, you know, the things that happen when we're in this type of environment. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate. So our next question, we have a lot of questions about testing, Ruby. So if you can join me again, this next question is, if I've taken the SATs, do I need to take the Accuplacer test?
The good news is if a student has an SAT score in English of 480 and an SAT score in math of 530, the student does not need to take Accuplacer. What they need to do is submit the SAT scores to our Office of Admissions, and they will be exempted from taking the Accuplacer test.
Awesome, very good. So we're getting some more questions about student involvement. So I'd like to invite Dr. Flores back. There's some questions about, are there any clubs that I can join at the college? Are there any travel opportunities? I think that, you know, students are looking for, how can I really build up my social life or a social group of friends while I'm attending Harford Community College?
So those are great questions. In terms of RSOs, we have over 30. If students find that there is a club that they if there isn't any club that they're interested, they can form one. They just need to have 5 other students to form it. So we have many clubs that are very active, and many of these clubs, whether it's theater or it's a multicultural club, they make sure that students can attend many conferences. And in terms of traveling, we offer many off-campus and even out-of-state international trips for students, as long as they are taking credit courses. There's many requirements, and as long as they fulfill those requirements, all our students are welcome to do, whether they're going to a museum or participate in alternative breaks, which is a week long where students get to do community service in a respective state or community. So there's many opportunities. They can either check on our website. We also have an app called Presence. Once they come to HCC, they'll be able to have more information on how they can download that app. And it lists all the events that we have available, as well as many of the opportunities that they're able to take on.
Awesome. So a couple more questions. So you said RSO. What does RSO mean?
So RSO is a registered student organization. That's just the acronyms that we use instead of having to say registered student organization. And what it means is that they're registered with our area. They also receive funding, and they just have to abide by many of the regulations that we set forward to be giving the sponsorship and the support from the college.
Okay, so if I have a great idea to form my own club or registered student organization, I could do that, right? I would just need to get some other people that are interested in the same thing to sign up with me.
Absolutely. There's an application. They also have to have a constitution, but we walk them through the whole process so they're not left alone. And they also need a faculty or staff advisor. But like I said, we have all the paperwork for them, and we'll walk them through the process. That way they can become a registered student organization.
All right, very good. Now you mentioned the alternative spring break trips. So where are some locations where students have gone?
We typically try to go to places that need the support of volunteer work. So some of the areas students have they have gone to Key West to help with the marine environmental. They've also went to Houston, Texas after Hurricane Harvey had came through. Other areas have been New Orleans because there's still much work after Katrina that needs to be done. So it just depends on the location and the need. This year, we were supposed to take students to Alabama and Georgia, but because of the virus, that had to be postponed. Every year, we at least do 2 to 3 alternative breaks, and students can apply. And if they are, if they go through the interview process and they're admitted, then they're able to have that wonderful opportunity and be able to give back to another community.
All right, so I got another question just came in on the line. Is there a creative writing club that you're aware of at the college?
No, I don't think there is. But I mean, it's more than welcome to get started. If there's student interest, then we're happy to support that.
Very good. I also got a question about, does Harford Community College have a drama company? One of the things that comes to mind as we're talking about registered student organizations is I know that we have our Actors Guild, and they put forth a lot of productions, and that's the advisor for that is Dr. Ben Fissler, who is our coordinator for the performing arts. And so that's a very popular organization that we have.
Yes, and if you go to the website, you can also see the name of all the advisors. So if students are interested, they can get in contact with the advisor if they want to join the organization next year or to learn more about it.
Awesome, very good. Well, thank you, Dr. Flores. I want to turn this over now to Ms. Runge, Pamela Runge. A student is at C. Milton Wright, and they are a writing advisor there. The student is a writing advisor. So they're wondering if we have a writing center at Harford Community College, and if it's possible for a freshman to be a writing advisor. So I think you could probably talk about the ways that we support writing in our learning center.
Sure. So our Learning Center does provide writing services, and Lois, the interim co-director of the library, mentioned earlier that the library and the Learning Center partner and collaborate together, being in the same building now, that we provide those writing services through both Learning Center and library. So with the library, they can help students with database searching, and we're excited they use Noodlebib for the reference pages, and the library staff can help with that. Learning Center staff will help with the writing aspect, where we're incorporating the in-text citations or integrating sources. So that combination there and that support from both library and Learning Center would be Writing Center services. So that does exist for students. As far as being a writing advisor, it goes back to our learning assistants and hiring students to be learning assistants. So that opportunity exists. Once you have 6 college credits, you can apply to be a learning assistant and go through that process. So that's how you would become a learning assistant to assist with writing.
Yeah, very good. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Pam, for helping us with that question. We have another question about testing, and Ruby, I can kind of take a stab at answering this, and then you can provide some support. The question is Accuplacer state specific? And if I'm an incoming student and I'm not a Maryland resident, does the way that my placement, is that impacted if I'm not a Maryland resident? And one of the things that I'll say to that before I turn it over to you is we talked earlier about if you have a 3.0 unweighted GPA or higher after the completion of your junior year at the time that we see you, it doesn't matter if you're from Harford County Public Schools or if you're from another state, that is something that would allow you to take college level credits here. And then as far as Accuplacer across different states, can you talk a little bit about that, Ruby?
Yes. So we do, Harford Community College accepts Accuplacer. If you take Accuplacer from another state, we accept it as long as it's an Accuplacer scores. Currently, our institution is accepting next generation Accuplacer, but if they do have the classic Accuplacer version or scores from Accuplacer classic version, we still accept it as long as it's not older than 2 years.
All right, very good. Thank you, Ruby. Another question that I received, and this isn't for the test center, it says, is there a way to be a part of the radio station? So thank you. Harford has a very robust radio station, and our entire media mass communications program is very robust. And there are ways that students can get involved. And that would be a great question for our humanities area. So tomorrow there's going to be the same virtual open house, and the focus will be on academics. And in the humanities area, they can talk about how to get involved there. But I can say that I was asked to be part of a podcast, and it was part of the radio station, and I was interviewed by one of our students, and it was a really wonderful production. So what a great way for our students to get involved and be a part of our radio station. So as I'm looking through the list, I'm not seeing additional questions that we have. Let me just keep scanning through. One of the questions that we've received is about, is there someone I can talk to throughout the time at Harford if I'm not sure about what course to take next, or if I'm not sure about what I want to do with my career aspirations or where I want to transfer? And so I do want to take this opportunity to explain that all of our students who are in declared degree programs are assigned an academic advisor, and the academic advisor provides assistance with advising for courses and degree programs at the college. We offer career services, and we also offer transfer services, because we really do want to help students, prepare as soon as possible for what the future holds. And sometimes when you're brand new to college, you just really don't know what is out there. And that's where our advisors can really help and provide some guidance. So you'll be introduced to your advisor as you make your entrance into Harford Community College. I have another question here that came in. I've struggled with math in high school. what resources do you have for math? And that's certainly where the Learning Center can provide support. We have assistance throughout our operating hours, and we also have the online services, so you can just walk into the Learning Center to get assistance. If you feel that you need more personalized one-on-one attention, that can also be coordinated through the Learning Center through meeting with our student success specialist. That information is on our website. But we also find, speaking as a former math teacher, that, math is really about practicing the content and really feeling confident in your skills. And so that's really something that we try to instill at the college, wherever you're meeting with someone, that you can do it. And it's really about a positive mindset. And so while you can get the support in the Learning Center on the content, the Learning Center will also help you with that notion of mindset and how big of a role that plays in our success. And you'll see that same sentiment shared among the admissions counselors when you talk to admissions, when you talk to advisors, that, it's really a mentality of you can do it and we're here to help. And we really think that you'll find that when you participate in our courses. So at this time, it's I'm seeing 5:11 on my clock, and I am not seeing additional questions come through. So I think that we'll very soon be starting our virtual tour. So you'll get to see our beautiful campus virtually. And last question that came in before our virtual tour is, are the student development classes credit or non-credit? And when we talk about credit versus non-credit, we talk about, will I earn college credits that can go on my transcript and that can be received for credit at another institution and count towards my grade point average? And the student development courses that Dr. Aduwu was referring to, they are college level courses. They count for 1 credit, and they do contribute towards your grade point average. And so they are just a wonderful resource to help you get some direction and guidance if you have questions about how to be successful in college, or if you'd like some personalized career exploration. All right, so at this point, I'm going to turn it over to our Assistant Director for Marketing, Cynthia Courtney, who has been involved in our entire time together, and she will be walking you through our virtual tour. So thank you very much, and thanks to all of our panelists who participated, and thank you to everybody at home who's following along with us and asking questions and participating.
Thank you too, Jenny. We really appreciate all your help. We know that everybody would much prefer to be on campus and to be doing a real tour right now. But since that's not possible, what we've decided to do is put together a virtual campus tour for you. So I'm going to queue that up, and if anybody has any questions afterwards, we can take those. This is also online at harford.edu/learn-more. on the admissions page there, and that way you can take a look later if you choose. So here we go. Welcome to Harford Community College.
Hey everybody, my name's Kevin. I'm a Harford Community College graduate and part-time employee, and I thought I'd give you guys a quick tour of the campus. Before we get started, I want to add that I'm going to give a description of what typically happens in each building, but it's not uncommon to have classes around campus. That said, everything is within walking distance and parking is always available. So let's get started. We'll start at the intersection of Route 22 and Thomas Run Road. As you can see from this map, which will be used throughout the video, there are 7 entrances to campus. One of these entrances is located off Route 22 near the Wawa. The other 6 are off Thomas Run Road, where we're heading now. After passing the athletic fields and going through entrance 1, you will come to the APG Federal Credit Union Arena. It's home to the Fighting Owls basketball and volleyball teams and hosts concerts, events, and competitions throughout the year. Attached to it is the Susquehanna Center, which houses the pool, fitness center, and cycling studio, as well as the gymnasiums. Next, we have the Chesapeake Center, which has an auditorium that seats more than 200 and a ballroom with equal capacity. The rest of the building is broken into offices for human resources, communications, and dining services departments. Moving on, we come to Darlington Hall, home of the nursing and allied health programs. Built in 2014, it features simulation labs, a functioning ambulance bay, and state-of-the-art classrooms and equipment for our nursing, paramedic, and other allied health students. Next, you come to the roundabout and entrance 3, the main entrance to Harford Community College. Passing through the gates, you will see Edgewood Hall on the right. Edgewood Hall houses the Workforce Development and Apprenticeship Programs, the Harford County Sheriff's Academy, and offices for continuing education programs. Edgewood Hall also has a fully operational kitchen that is used for food safety and culinary classes. As we move past Edgewood Hall and down Cross Campus Drive, we come to a recently renovated Falston Hall. The renovation included a new GIS lab and criminal justice lab, along with updated classrooms and technology. The rest of Falston Hall is typically used for classes in psychology, sociology, and other behavioral and social sciences. Coming into the heart of campus, we reach the library. The library has online and in-person research assistants, private study rooms, print stations, and technology rentals. Located on the first floor are the One Button Studio, where students can create videos and participate in digital media workshops, and the Learning Center, which provides course tutoring and learning strategies. To the left of the library, we come to the Public Safety Building. Public safety officers monitor the campus day and night year-round. They're always walking the campus, are quick to offer help, and are very friendly. Moving down the path, we approach Aberdeen Hall. This is where most science, engineering, and technology classes will take place. With multiple laboratory classrooms, students are able to learn hands-on with different materials. Aberdeen Hall is connected by a glass hallway that allows the original building to merge into the newer portion. Now we are going to turn around and look back at the quad, and then turn towards Bel Air Hall, which typically holds classes in business, languages, history, and other studies. The building is primarily made into classrooms and a few offices, and can be entered from the quad and the parking lot on the opposite end. Next to Bel Air Hall, we have Haverty Grace, which is primarily made of classrooms and faculty spaces. While the building has 2 floors, it is the smallest on campus and has multiple places to relax in between classes. Moving from Haverty Grace Hall, we come to the Student Center. The Student Center is the hub of campus where you'll meet with your advisor and register for classes. This is also where you can find the cashier's office, Office of Student Life, and the Globe Cafe. The Globe has a large menu and plenty of healthy options. The Student Center is always busy and makes a good place to hang out in between classes. Around the corner is Maryland Hall, which finished renovations in the fall of 2019. While Maryland Hall now holds the testing center, the rest of the building is made up of offices for faculty and staff. Before we head over to Joppa Hall, I want to take us back through campus to give a little more perspective of Harford Community College. As we come down Cross Campus Drive from the opposite direction, we can see Bel Air Hall on the hill and Aberdeen Hall closer to us, with the glass walkway connecting the other part of the building. You can see parking on the right, and then we're back to the library. From the middle of campus, there are a few ways to get to Joppa Hall. You can easily walk the sidewalks or by taking the path, which is right here to the right. You can also walk or drive this way towards Joppa Hall, but for the sake of the video, we're going to stay on Cross Campus Drive and Thomas Run Road. After going through the roundabout and entering back in through entrance 4, we come to Joppa Hall. Joppa Hall is home to the arts, mass comm, music, and theater studies, and also has a complete cybersecurity and graphic design labs. Joppa Hall is also home to the WHFC College radio station, as well as featuring an outdoor art collection area featuring student and faculty pieces. Before we finish up, I want to show everyone the TUNE building. TUNE stands for Towson University of Northeastern Maryland. The building is located on Harford Community College property, but offers Towson University classes, which makes it easy for students to transfer and stay in the area. The TUNE building is located directly across from Joppa Hall and can be accessed from Thomas Run Road from entrance 7. So that's it, guys. I hope we were able to get a feel for the college. Be safe, and hopefully I'll see you on campus soon.
Thank you, Cynthia. Let's hand it over to Jenny to see if you have any closing remarks for us.
Well, I just love that virtual tour. It just really shows the beauty of our campus, which again, we wish we could show you in person, but that was just a wonderful overview of all that we have to offer. And it was really nice to see the Tune campus and to see it being presented from one of our Scholar Star students, Kevin, was just even better. And it's been, you know, Kevin's a wonderful example of all that he learned on campus to be able to create and produce work like that. And to be able to stay on as an employee as he's pursuing his bachelor's degree is just a wonderful example of what's possible here at Harford. So thank you to everybody for being with us and for learning more about student life and student opportunities at the college. I think we've answered all of the questions that have come through, and it was just really nice spending our evening together. All right, so we're going to sign off now. Thank you very much.